Premature evaluation for Might and Magic Duel of Champions. Might and Magic Duel of Champions is your card game. If you know card games, you probably familiarize yourself with this around Magic, because Magic is probably one of the most popular card games out there as of right now. But this one is really good. This game is a mix of Magic and it has its own little flavor, but it's extremely unique in some senses. I'm just going to go straight into a match. I won't be doing a player match against another player because those take a little bit of time, so I'm just going to do one campaign mission to go over the basics of the game, how the combat works, and how you play cards in that sort of nature. So let's go to it. There is a campaign mode that I would highly recommend doing because you have to familiarize yourself with the game, otherwise you will lose. Even on some of these campaign matches, I still do lose occasionally just because I either don't get good cards or the opponent has the advantage. So let's just start up this one. I've already done it before. I'm on the third set of campaign missions on the last one. They get pretty hard later on, but let's just start off with this one match, and I'll tell you about the game as it goes along. Alright, as you can see, when the match first starts up, you get to mulligan. You can see what cards you're getting in your hand. You can either say yes, those are good, or if you say no, you will discard your entire hand and you'll draw an entirely new hand. Just so you get no good cards to start with, you can do that. So I'm just going to mulligan now just because this is fairly good, but I'm just going to mulligan just to show you what happens. You click no, and now I have an entirely new set of cards, and these are some fairly good set of cards. And you can see on the cards how they have, let me right click one, you can see how it has right here, this is what it costs to play it, this is how much might you need, this is how much magic you need, this is its attack, this is its retaliation, and this is its health. These should be fairly self-explanatory. This is how much it costs to summon it down, this is the resources you need to summon it down, and this how much damage it does. But retaliation is when it's not your turn and an enemy attacks you, that's how much damage they're going to take from the retaliation. Now, this card doesn't have any of that, so when they get attacked, they're not going to deal anything to anyone. But they have most monsters, not all, but most monsters do have special effects on them. Like this one is immune to retaliation, so when this card attacks a card of retaliation, it takes no damage from that. It also has Magic Channel 1 for as long as this creature remains in play. You get +1 to your magic level, which is pretty handy if you want to summon a spell, but you don't feel like wasting a turn getting more magic. You also have events, which cycle through every turn. A new event gets shown. There are some pretty simple ones. If you haven't played a card this turn, draw a card. If you do, you cannot play a card this turn. It's okay to play that in the beginning of the game, or your first turn if you get it. I don't technically really like that. I like actually playing a monster, but there are some pretty good ones, and I can show you some other ones later on if we see them. Now, how do you increase your might, magic, and honor, all those other cards, all these things right here? Well, what you do is you click on your hero, and you get to choose between, these are always the same, but different heroes have different special abilities. This one allows you to draw a card, and I think you can actually click on the, you can see there's down there in the bottom, it has those. It has the same thing as increased might, magic, and is that honor? I think that's honor. But this one also has another ability to discard a card, 2 friendly creatures gain +1 until the end of the turn. So each different heroes has its own special abilities. Usually the good thing to do right off the bat is to increase your might or your attack strength, so you can play down stronger monsters. But since I only have 1 resource this turn, I can only play down this. But I actually don't remember if this combo actually works. So we played this. Yeah, see, now I have 2. I can play down a stronger minion at the beginning of the game, which some of those combos are pretty good. Another good thing is about playing with bots is they do their turn fairly fast. Like right there, they already ended their turn, so it helps me out quite a bit. I'll probably cheese that guy out in the other turn, but I got to get some more might, so I want to play some stronger cards. I will play down this guy in front of that guy. And how the attacking works is ranged people can attack both melee and range, but melee can only attack melee if there's a melee card where they're right here, he can only attack that. But if there's not, he can attack the ranged and then when there's no cards, you can attack directly. So you have to plan out your strategy accordingly, but there are also some special cards you get that allow you to bypass that, but at the cost of some resources per turn. But let's just attack them, and I can't really do too much more, but I'll do this. This card allows you to do 2 damage to an enemy, but you have to sacrifice 1 card from your hand. I'm just going to get rid of that one because I don't really need that one too much, and I will end my turn. Let's see if the bot plays anything good. Yep, played a ranged creature, which isn't too bad. So far, those haven't been used up. Next turn, I can play this guy. But see, if I want to, I can't attack him directly because there's a monster in the way. So I'm gonna have to get rid of this guy if I want to deal with his problems. So I'm just gonna melt him down, because if you leave monsters out there for too long, they get fairly strong, as in they start playing more and more, and you start losing control of the board. And having control of the board is really, really important. Early game and late game. Mid game, not so much, just because you can get some magic spells that allow you to instantly destroy creatures, and I have a couple of those in my deck, but I haven't seemed to be drawing any of them. And right here, I need 5, so I'm going to increase my might. Then I'm going to gold pile, which will allow me to summon an extremely beefy creature fairly early on. And so there are those combos that you can pull off. I'm actually going to be losing that guy. And I will put this spell down. I don't have enough resources for that. Never mind. Spells. Certain spells can be used directly on targets. Other spells go up here when they're ongoing, or over here, like this one right there. All friendly creatures gain +1 regeneration this turn, so you want to get rid of them. Otherwise, they're just going to regen all their health. So what I am going to do is I'm going to increase my magic again, and I'm going to fireball that guy down, and I'm going to put down. I'll save that trap, and I'll attack directly. Here's another example of one event. When you use this, the next creature you deploy has +1 to their attack. So if I use this before I summon that guy, he would be 4 attack instead of 3. But I am going to make us both draw cards, so I can actually have some attack next turn. And I already attacked, so I will end my turn. Strategies later on get much more diverse, because different decks have different combos of cards that you can use. I personally enjoy the fire deck, or this one. It's one of the base decks that you can get, although I have opened up a fair amount of packs, and I have added some other cards into there. Like I've added a couple more things here and there. Other than that, this deck is fairly basic, but I just love the way it plays out. Like I can make monsters die from certain spells. Also, there are some creatures that can be played in both the melee and the ranged sides of the field, so it's good if you want to build up a line of defense. So I'm going to play one right there, because this guy is extremely beefy. Attack him directly, and I have to end my turn since I have no more actions. Campaign missions later on, they get really, really hard. I have trouble in this last one just because the enemy has an extreme amount of low casting cards, and it's just really hard to deal with. Some effects on some monsters, like this one's a fairly good card for a 2-drop, but you must pay a resource to attack with this card, so it's a trade-off. You can either get something that's really strong early game, but it'll cost you, but later on this card is just good because you have leftover resources at the end of your turn almost always. So let's just attack that guy and get rid of it. Alright, I think I am going to win this one. Oh, I have to get rid of that card if I draw one. Let's just beat some honor. Or what? I'm pretty sure that's called honor. I'm not 100%. Yeah, this game is looking like it's going my way. I'll attack with this guy. And attack with that. But since I have my resources at a fairly stable level, once you get to that point, you could just use your hero power if you want to draw cards, which really is helpful for most points into the game. Actually, I'm going to use this card on this one to move them up there, so I have protection. So, like, those cards allow you to reposition your monsters, so they can either be out of the line of fire, or you can put them in the line of fire to protect yourself from not taking damage. You can also move your cards on their own, but it will cost them their turn, so you can't attack. You can just move them. Although it does look like I will win this one. Hopefully. Unless later on the opponents, or anyone in general, if they have a big stockpile of cards, they can do a lot. Actually, I'm just gonna draw a card, nothing more I can do. Oh, that's pretty good. Don't think I will win this turn, but I probably will win next turn. Oh, it's disabled. Let's attack. Yes, looks like I will win next turn. Then once this is over, I will go and show you the shop and the things that you can buy. Oh man, never mind. See, games can change really fast depending on the cards your opponent can draw. Although it still looks like I probably will win. I'm gonna need to draw a card. That doesn't help me out too much. Put one down there. Let's draw some more cards. Put one right there. Enchant the row. Yeah, it looks like I hopefully will win next turn. The enemies can pull a hat trick and they can just wipe all your creatures. Although they have 1 life, if I just draw my card that allows me to do damage, I should win. Unless he takes out my bottom row. Yes, looks like I do win. I will just destroy that card just because I feel like it. I'll draw a card. Play down guy. Give myself a card. I usually just like doing this at the end of my turn. I just like throwing down as much stuff as I can, even if I'm about to win. And I did win. Alright. See, there is a general thing of the combat and the gameplay, I should more likely say. It's really good, especially when you're playing against someone who actually has to think about their turns and plan ahead. The bots, they kind of just play what they want, but they're pretty easy early on, but later on they actually give a pretty good challenge. Here is the daily reward. You get them from logging in day to day. I usually just accept them right away because I don't really care too much about the daily rewards. You can get a whole bunch of gold just by leveling up your character and doing matches. I'm going to be showing off the shop, just because the shop is a fairly important part of the game, because you get golden seals and you can spend those on different types of things. They do have a featured page once it loads, which just kind of shows off the new things into the game. I used to have a lot more gold, but I did spend it on buying a whole bunch of packs. Buying packs is how you get different cards in this game. You can also buy decks and other things, but I'll just go one by one. For the consumables, you have your basic things. You can get gold boosters, you can get XP boosters, which are actually fairly cheap because in a couple of the play matches I did against actual opponents, I won both of them, and I got like 50 seals per one. So you can actually keep these up quite well if you want. I don't know if these last for 1 turn only. Yeah, your next 5 duels. So you can really make yourself stay up there in seals and money fairly easy, so you don't have to save all your stuff. You can actually spend it and you can get more back fairly frequently. There are tournament tickets which are used for tournaments, and speaking of tournaments, there is the second Might and Magic Duel of Champions tournament, World Championships, being held on December 2nd in Paris, November 2nd, which I actually am going to be watching because this game has interested me enough into seeing how like professionals play against each other and see their combinations of decks and that kind of thing. So I'm going to be definitely tuning into that on November 2nd. There's also packs, which are probably what most people are going to spend their money on. You can get small packs, which only have a couple of cards, or you can get bigger packs, which have more cards, so you have a higher chance of getting stuff, and you get more things depending on what packs you do grab. Then they have boxes, which I think most people will probably save up to get, just because there's so much in a pack. You get 120 cards, you get wild cards, which I'll show off in a second. You get a whole bunch of them, so you have a really good chance of getting stuff, and a lot of them do have a chance of getting heroes, so you can actually build completely different decks. I'll buy one now. I'll probably just buy the box because I only have 1,100 seals. I can't really get too much unless I want to buy a whole bunch of these packs, which I'm not going to. So I was going to save up for this one, the heroic box, just because I like the cards that are in there, like the types of cards. But I do like my fire deck too. So I'm probably just going to buy the box, and I'll open it up to show you exactly what you get in those things. So I'll just buy it. There we go. and I've just retrieved 5 wild cards. Here you go, and you got to open up your packs. You got to go to your the cards and decks, which is your deck builder. But also with money, you can buy packs. So like you can get guaranteed cards. Like let's say I wanted this one. You get a guaranteed hero, and basically it gives you a starting deck, which, depending on the things, works out pretty good. So it just, if you want to get something new and you have the money, you can just buy a deck without having to build one, or have to buy a whole bunch of packs and hopefully you don't get one. Then you have your redeem code, which are for special things. Let's go on to cards and decks, and I can open up the pack. I actually got 10 packs. I have 2 decks on there. One of them that I'm still building in the Infernal deck. These are all the cards that I do have. I don't have too many, but I have a lot of duplicates of some. Let's open up the pack, and it comes in these, and it'll show off different types of cards, all the cards that you do get. Like you get some holographic ones. Usually the ones that are in the yellow borders are the rare versions. To my experience, they seem rare. Let's actually see what this one looks like. Yeah. So a lot of this card is more for effects. I don't really know what most of these cards are because I haven't opened up too many packs and I've seen a lot of duplicates. Let's update. Let's just open up the rest of them, see if we can get anything rare. Yep. Open up part packs. It's like gambling. Like when I first started opening the packs, I blew a lot of money on them once I opened the first one just because I wanted to see what else I could get. I still haven't seen the hero yet. I'm pretty sure that box guarantees a hero. Yeah, see, I won a wild card. You use those for something else that I'll show in a second. You get your spells. You got these. I have a whole bunch of these in my deck just because those are pretty good for finishing off people. You got event cards. You have fortunes. You have a whole bunch of different types. You have monsters, which actually seems pretty good. Yeah, attack anywhere. That one seems really overpowered, if you ask me. But it's really nice to have on some cards. Not all cards have them. Just keep on opening. Once they all show, I'll just refresh. Yeah, this card right here. This is the right here. I have to have a specific type of hero that can use these cards, but it's really good because they're more defensive. That I like, and I have a whole bunch of these, and I have a whole bunch of those. Actually, this guy seems pretty good. Yeah, pretty rare card. Let's update. Open up the rest of them. Still haven't seen the hero card yet. Maybe the stat pack doesn't guarantee one. One more to go after this. Alright, that's all the packs. I got a whole bunch of cards. I even got some achievements. I don't know if I'll show off the achievements because there's a whole bunch of them and there's different levels of them. But you see, I just got a whole bunch of cards. You can sort by heroes. I have a couple hero cards I got from opening up packs. I do have this one. Different heroes do have different abilities. This one starts off with 2% less health, but it has a different ability. Like I draw a card, discard a card, heal 3 to a target. So each one has different. This one destroys an enemy creature with a cost 2 or less resources, and this is the one that I have. So different ones start off with different amounts of HP. I didn't actually look at all of them, but let's just go and look at the card build. Like the wild cards, you go to the card exchange for these. See, I have 9 wild cards. You get those for opening up packs, and I think, don't quote me on this one, but I think you get one for certain achievements. But what you do is that allows you to buy specific cards. So if you want to have a specific card in your deck that you want to build a certain one, you can use wild cards to buy them. I actually think that I want to get this one right here, just because that one's pretty nice. But there's a whole bunch of different heroes, different costs, different values. It seems like none of them actually go above 20 HP. So let's just see. Let's open up and see this one. Yeah, see, different ones have different effects. I really like it. You can also get event cards. You can get creatures, spells, fortunes. You can get everything. I think I'm actually just gonna buy. Where was it? This one. Like, see, these ones are all part of the same. I think the same set because they all have that same symbol. I'll buy this one. So let's drag it over here and make an offering. There we go. I got the card. So it allows you to, if you take your time, if you open up a whole bunch of packs and you get lucky, you get those, you can get specific cards. It also allows you to buy specific types of creatures. I still have one left, so if I wanted to, I can buy this guy, Sunrider. Let's buy the Sunrider just so I can make one. So you have 0. Start fresh. There you go. Now I have the Sunrider. That really is good for if you want to specifically min-max your deck. If you want more of these cards, you can get more of them through the wild cards. And the deck builders, what do you think? I have this one. I think I actually just delete this one. Delete. There's nothing really too good. And when you delete a card deck, all your cards go back into your deck builder. Let's create a new one. Let's just name it WGG Test. There we go. Open it up, and you can go select your hero. Let's just drag that hero in there. You get your events. You have to have, one thing about this though, you have to have a certain amount of events. If I'm not mistaken, you have to have at least 8 events. You have to have anywhere between 30. It says 30 to 200 creatures. Let's just put 1 of each, and it should say exactly what you need in your deck when you hit done. Yeah, right here it says your deck must have a total between 50 and 200 creatures, spells, and fortune cards. So your deck can have quite a bit of cards, but there are some drawbacks. I think having that many cards in your deck is you'll be less likely to draw your good ones because you'll have so many flooding your other ones. Or if you could just make an extremely cheesy deck and you get 200 of one card and you can just flood your board with stuff, and it'll be really hard for the enemy to handle. That deck does seem like a lot of fun, but I don't have that many cards that can do that. But you need to have a specific amount of cards so you can make your stuff worthwhile. That is basically the gist of the game. It is free to play. I'm having loads of fun with the game so far. I'm still not even done with the campaign. I've done a couple matches here and there. I've done some bot matches. I've played with my friend a couple times. There's no reason why you shouldn't pick this game up. I get to give this game a big thumbs up, and I would recommend that you get the game. There will be a link in the description down below where you can register for a free account and download the game. And remember, game on.